afraid your heart has suffered a lot of damage and my cleavage isn't helping, you're also listening to Slurmcast, a podcast for no reason. Today we'll be discussing Broadcast Season 8, Episode 3, Ghost in the Machines. My name is Michelle Burlingame. With me are Tommy Roulette.
How's it going?
Pete Woodward.
Well, it isn't helping him.
Our guest today is Dan Holahan.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hi.
Welcome back to your phantom fourth appearance since we lost
the
one.
That none of us remember.
We were just arguing about Skynet and Alexa and the cloud, and because the cloud failed Michelle getting our intro ready.
Also, my iPad is dead.
But I can change the
everything's
lights
ruined.
in my living room to different colors with the sound of my voice.
Because you're allowing Skynet and the CIA and the NSA to spy on you.
I'm not doing nothing bad, Dan.
Uh-huh.
I mean, unless you're Jesus, but he doesn't exist. How about that?
How about that? But yeah, what I was going to say before is like, you turned off the Christmas tree when you turned off the living room, and that kind of bummed me out because I love Christmas.
Yeah,
But then I was thinking, like, whenever I come here, I get confused because I'm friends with your neighbors,
that's right.
and I always forget which one is yours.
They outdo us all the time on their decorations.
Well, so here's the thing, is I pulled up, and your house did not have Christmas lights.
and you're like, that's the
And I was
sad
like,
dad house.
that's Pete's house.
Normally we do put them out, or I mean, we did. I'm not going to do it anymore unless my daughter like really wants to when she's here. But like, yeah, I felt that in the process of moving my wife's stuff out of the house, pulling more shit out of boxes in the basement to leave lying around would just make that a harder and bigger job.
That makes sense to me.
Which just because it makes sense doesn't mean that that's why it would be followed.
Yeah, I like to think that you're just a
But
Grinch.
a bah humbug.
Yeah,
No,
like me, but not at Christmas. I'm not.
No, as we were just saying before, talking about other things, like I'm not totally dead inside. Just the amount of dead inside I am has been for a good 2 decades.
Right.
I mean, you can still be dead inside and decorate. And,
This isn't
and enjoy
Halloween.
Colored lights. Okay, well, I was just gonna say that I was leaving my house for work the other morning, and as I, turned the corner out from behind my house to go down the driveway, I noticed that my downstairs neighbor Sean has decorated the entire front of my house for Christmas.
Really?
But in Halloween colors because he is a goth. So it's amazing, and I love it, and I
pretty
want it to be
awesome.
like that forever. He
I've just-
also did an amazing job decorating our house for Halloween.
Is this the Sean that was been on the show before?
No.
Or is it different?
Different
You know
Sean.
a lot of Seans.
I know 2 Seans.
That's a lot of Seans.
You know a lot of Seans.
I'm
We
Irish.
all know a lot of
Yeah.
Seans.
Yeah.
What about Scenes?
I know
The
both.
SEAN Seans.
I know them both. I even we know SHAUN Seans. I mean, we got it covered.
I knew an SHAWN.
I lived with
Yes.
one of those. I know it. I mean, I don't know, but I went to high school with a girl who was SIAN.
What about
And that was a Sean too.
SHEAWUN? What kind of Sean?
That sounds
Sean?
like Shane. With
That's
or-
every
It
way
seems like
you
an
can
extra
spell it.
syllable should be.
There's a U and a W, a couple of N's just for good measure at the end. I mean, whatever gets the job done, right? That's what we've learned after almost 100 episodes of this. This is our 99th episode, and
Is it
Your Gretzky
99th episode?
it's our 99th real episode.
Yeah. It's your Gretzky episode.
Is it?
Yeah, Gretzky's number was 99. Oh. And it's been retired throughout the entire NHL.
Like 23?
23 has not been retired by any league.
I know.
What about 74?
What about 24? You like 24 a lot, don't you? That's Dan has a 42 tattoo in digital lettering on his arm, and was at least once.
It's more than
asked-
once.
More than, oh my God. Rather than getting the Douglas Adams reference, it was.
I thought I was a fan of the show 24.
Well, Kiefer Sutherland is a powerhouse. I'll give him that. But that's fun.
I have purposely never seen that show because of those incidents.
You watch a few and go, this is just going to get more and more preposterous. Speaking of preposterous shows, this one that we watched for this week,
yeah.
it's kind of preposterous. It had Tom's favorite character in it, the robot
it
devil.
did.
I hate the robot.
Tom
devil.
hates him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
does
so
Tom.
my first time I was on this show was the first time we
Oh, that's
met the
right.
robot
We went to
devil.
Nutley.
And I spent I think 10 minutes complaining about the robot devil, how much I fucking hate him. And consequently, one of my favorite Futurama moments is in this show.
Really? Well, when he gets, we'll
get
get there. Yeah. I I like that they were just running out the clock waiting for their insurance to renew. And I thought there would be some payoff from that.
Yeah.
I mean, I really hoped that there would be some payoff from that, like setup, and just to have nothing happen was kind of a letdown, really.
Well, they learned it was parade day.
Yeah.
With giant, I was more excited about a giant sausage. That was like
I kept waiting for somebody to make a wiener joke. Like, it's a giant sausage.
well, they got right into like this the St. Patrick's Day and the Lunar New Year Day.
Mm-hmm.
But the giant sausage balloon was brought to you by All Parts Franks.
Yeah.
Which again sounds delicious. I just here's the food jazz I was playing tonight for dinner. I had leftover rice from some chicken tikka masala, and I warmed it up with a hot dog in it and dumped some cheddar cheese on it and melted it. And that's that was my nutrition for the night.
You sure are
So,
living the bachelor lifestyle
The
now.
last time I was on the show, you told me what you had for dinner, and it was ramen noodles with peanut butter
and jelly.
No, I think it was some kind of. Now I forget, but it was ramen noodles with peanut butter and something else.
Yeah, I fry up the noodles in the peanut butter and like a peanut sauce. You dilute it with some sesame oil and some spices and stuff. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even like bachelor cooking. It's just I've showed you my fried rice experiments before. I think. I mean, it's just like I gotta use it. I feel bad throwing it out. There's starving people everywhere.
I don't like rice. And I feel so bad every time I throw away the little container of steamed rice
don't
I
like
get
eat
from
it at
Chinese
all.
food. I do not eat rice.
Really?
It's not good for you.
What about brown rice? Or what about
all right.
what about forbidden rice?
It's just filler. Rice is just filler.
It's
not good for you.
It's not filler. It's a delivery vehicle for delicious sauces. And
He's
things.
right. He goes very well with certain types of chicken and pork.
I mean, that's
What can you mop up with rice that you can't also mop up with some sort of meat or naan or other etc.
Well, if
It's
you're
also
eating
the
your meal,
texture. Like I like the texture of rice.
See, I don't.
When it's not on its own, but like when it's with chicken or pork or even some kind of beef, like
I'm just not a fan.
like
I'll
it
eat other
together.
grains. I'm into couscous. I'll do farro. I'll do all that
Couscous-
stuff.
yeah, couscous
but
is good,
rice
but it's
to me
pasta.
just bleh.
I mean, couscous is noodles,
Yeah.
which is fine. I mean, that's fine too. But you should try the forbidden rice because it's black. It's like little black gothy pearls, and it's delicious.
Yeah,
It's,
I would like that.
it's one of the food trends for 2019 that's supposedly going to happen.
I feel like it came
That's
with a blue
ridiculous.
apron I got maybe, or I don't remember. I may have eaten it.
Look at that! I thought we were going to stay on track and like just immediately. But the
and we haven't even talked about books yet, Pete.
I know I've got a bunch that I haven't read yet. The fact that Fry is scared of giant balloons. More so than giant sausages. I mean, I feel like that didn't have a lot of payoff too, but where he's sitting on Bender's shoulders, he's like, "You okay with it now?" And he's like, "I think so," with the ice cream and that stuff. I tried to do that at when we went to see Sparks last month. I tried to put BB up on my shoulders because we were on the floor close to the stage, and I'm like, she can't see because it's tall people. So I put her on my shoulder. She's like, "Get me down. Like, this is too tall." No. And I'm like, "No, really, it's fine." You know, I'm not like trying to get her to lift up her shirt or anything. Just like you can see you're like at level with the stage. And she was not having it. I think we got through like a song and then she's like, "Put me down."
I thought you were going to say you were sitting on someone's shoulders.
I wish, man.
Yeah.
But it was good anyway. We found like a hole in the visual for her to see. So it all worked. She's a tall kid. But I would like to condense all the parades into one.
So this sounds like a fucking nightmare to me. Like
Why?
because I hate St. Patrick's Day.
I hate all
with
of
the
them.
fury of 1,000 white hot suns, and I hate all parades, but like especially St. Patrick's Day
Yeah.
because like, I'm Irish. People go and they're like, "Oh, I'm Irish for a day." No, you're not. You're a fucking alcoholic, and you're looking for an excuse.
If you're a real alcoholic,
Yep.
you don't need an excuse.
But it's amateur night, man.
Yeah.
That and New Year's Day. It's
Yeah.
amateur night. I'm Irish for a day. No, you're fucking suffering from
Yeah.
alcohol poisoning.
no,
But like, imagine having all of those crowds together in one
yeah.
mess. Oh God.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then it's
I
done.
never go downtown anyway. But like, think
Well,
about all of
you
that
don't go
in-
anywhere.
This is true. I have 2 young children, and I'm very depressed. So yeah, I don't go anywhere.
Right.
But imagine like downtown Cleveland with all of that shit, all those people like
No, I know, but then you could avoid it for one day and then be done. I mean, the thing that gets me is like, this was a couple months ago. It had to be, because it was like homecoming for Lakewood. And I had to get from here to 117th. And so I go down to Clifton like I always do, and everything's blocked. Mm-hmm. And why? Because there's a 2-mile long parade of people like walking from Lakewood Park to the high school, and they're slow as shit. And this is on like a Friday night, so I have to be somewhere.
Is on the corner of Bunce and Clifton.
Oh no.
Ugh.
Oh. Yeah.
I went and picked him up early that day.
In the repurposed Catholic school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where Baby was for a while too.
That's where my mom went to grade school.
And now it's basically a haunted hospital. It's great.
No, it's not. It's a daycare.
And my grandma worked there.
Yep. Like I said, haunted.
And my grandpa worked there.
I'll ask my kids if they've seen ghosts.
They won't tell you.
Is it a ghost in a machine?
Oh, we'll get there. Maybe one of my favoriteest lines ever in this. But the Jamaican Pride float.
Oh, did you think they were going to pirate raid the Doritos float? Because
Yes.
I did.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
I'm kind of sad that there's so many obvious things that they didn't do. And it's not just like, oh, it's obvious and we didn't do it. It's just like, you could have crammed that in.
So one of the problems I have with this episode, and this is probably the biggest one, is that it feels like it's like a one gigantic series of missed opportunities.
I can see that.
Which is how I feel about Star Wars Episode 3. But like, I just thought it was gonna they were gonna jump on the Doritos float,
Like dive into the guacamole bowl
pirates,
and stuff.
Man, like, and they did. And they just crashed.
Well, because they were high. They were so high, they were covered in a cloud.
I thought of that, but really, that's what I wanted. I wanted a pirate raid.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
I guess. The Earthican Pride float was dumb. But then just the whole sidebar with the chicks and paleontologists and paleontologists using the dirt. I think he was one of the guys that works at the museum, isn't he? Or is he just random nerd?
I don't know if he's been on it before.
Because he's a paleontologist.
I'm a paleontologist.
I thought he might have been one of the guys who found Seymour or
Oh,
something.
honey, I dig you so much.
She's kind of cute. She had like the cat eye glasses and the librarian
She looks
dress.
like a librarian, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know how that goes. You look like a librarian, Dan.
No matter what I wore, I would look like a librarian.
I know, at work anyway. The robot that was with him, I feel like he's been on it.
His name is
too.
Ben Beeler. He's been in a bunch of episodes. He is the one that found
Seymour.
Seymour,
So he's
one of
like a
them.
Randy type, where he just shows up with a line here and there.
Yeah, he's named after Ken Keeler.
But the robot that was really into it too was nice. Like, you don't very often see nerd bots.
No, there was a whole fraternity of nerd bots.
Right, like 58 episodes ago.
Right. I'm just saying they're there.
Robot house.
Yeah.
But okay, so what was the order of events? The Jamaicans hit the Dorito, which causes the Dorito to break loose of its moorings. It flies forward and shears off the pedestals of the Earthican Pride float.
Yeah.
And so the giant globe rolls, and that's what's going to kill Ben Beeler then? Is that the way it happened?
I think you're right.
Yes.
Yes. Why was that globe so fucking heavy?
Because they needed it to go somewhere and be dangerous.
Because it's full of Earthican pride.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Fry sure saved that one of them. But so when he became a hero, which was that whole thing was just so instantaneous and crazy. But that wasn't Mayor Poopenmeyer, was it?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
It was?
Yeah,
he
it was.
didn't look like him, and I feel like he didn't sound like him. It might have just been that he's in a tux.
I was going to say, I feel like he's usually wearing a different jacket or something,
Yeah.
but it was him.
I just like, hey, what's your name? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
That was, yeah. I mean, so despite your misgivings about this, I feel like there were a lot of really good lines. Like the
Heroes don't do drugs, except Drug Man, I guess.
I want to see Drug Man in an episode. Like, what is that like when Fry and Bender and Leela became the superheroes. Like, would that have been Hermes's alter ego if he got the super cream to rub on him?
I mean, they kind of used drugs, if you think about it.
To do that.
They
yeah.
did.
That super cream was a
was
drug.
I mean, it wasn't classified as a Schedule 1 or anything.
You don't know that.
It was an ointment.
But also, drugs aren't Schedule 1. Drugs are drugs, just in general.
Well, I mean,
Drug Mart.
have we
Saves you to
Cough
run
syrup
around.
is a drug, Pete.
have we had this discussion before about how basically anything you put into your body is a drug? Like, I mean,
I
just
have
the
never had
definition.
this conversation with
The
you.
definite, like food. You're basically any chemical you
I
ingest.
definitely treat food like a drug.
Yeah, me too.
Well, when people say don't put chemicals in my food, like they're
Yeah.
fundamentally not understanding what a chemical is and that everything can be a chemical.
I don't want elements in my body. It's disgusting. I mean, like, I'm not trying to parse apart the definition of what drugs are. I just
I
feel
think
like
you are, though.
I mean, that wasn't my intent. But then again, I don't know what my intent was. I just don't think that was it. But then the cut to coming back to Planet Express, another one of these great lines.
Oh, this has one of my favorite lines, too. But I want to know if...
It sure was nice of the mayor's wife to have sex with me.
Well, we missed right before that where Mayor Poopenmeyer declares that this Saturday henceforth shall be known as Friday.
I couldn't tell if he just said it was like that one or every Saturday. Either way.
So there's something about, I've always been fascinated by someone getting the key to the city.
Yeah.
Because, like, what is it? Like, I assume that it harkens back to, like, the days when cities had walls built around them.
With gates
Yeah.
that would lock.
Right. And, like, you get a key to the city so you can get into the city like you're a trusted person. who
every
lives in the
house.
city.
And
Sounds like it's
Prima
time
Noctem.
for somebody to use the internet to look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not it.
Not it. I do it all day at work.
But I like that there was a whole handful of them.
Right. I mean, I just wondered, like, what the...
And that the city's not in a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I heard of that happening was when there was a musician around here, this guy Jim Kanya, that passed
Yeah, I
away.
know he is.
And then they, like a bunch of his friends.
Wasn't he a nun's
It
law?
does.
Yeah.
It invokes the like medieval walled cities and the gates of which would be guarded during the day and locked at night. It symbolizes that like freedom of the recipient to enter and leave the city at will.
Wow, you should be a Wikipedia contributor. Just pulled that right out of your head.
Don't say that on the air, then we'll all have to pay. We'll all be morally obligated to pay.
People should donate to Wikipedia.
Yeah, really, you should.
You should. Keep the true crime
I did.
podcasts in.
And also vote
Business.
for your local library levy.
Yeah, that too. Because nobody uses books anymore. It's just dumb. People just buy movies at Redbox. I'm a senator. So Kanye got one posthumously, but that was, I mean, even that was like 3 or 4 years ago, right? Like
Who got one?
Jim
Jim
Kanye.
Kanye.
So like, and I think, I mean, they did it, and it was sort of like this nice gesture for his parents, but it was also kind of a gag because it was a guy who played in a bunch of like crazy death metal bands. They're
Right.
like giving him the key to the city.
But like it was Parma, right?
Yeah.
And he was like all about Parma.
Parma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, for sure. I'm glad they did it. I think it's
Yeah.
super cool. That's the last time in my living memory.
I mean, I don't even remember.
You don't even remember that,
No.
right? But what was there was
You want to know who has the key to the city of Cleveland?
yes.
B.B. King.
I got it. Bernie Kosar has to.
Well, he's not on this list.
Oh.
Pele.
They took it away after a couple of those
Pele?
DUIs.
Pele.
Pele's got a key to
Has
Cleveland.
a key to Cleveland?
Yes.
I'd like to see
Betty
him try and
Betty
use it.
White.
Yes, good.
Cool.
Wendy Malick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Wait, is she from
Because
here?
they were both in Hot in Cleveland.
Oh, that's right.
So
Jane Leaves.
also Hot in Cleveland.
Yeah,
Daphne.
Valerie Bertinelli.
Bertinelli.
Okay.
Valerie Burton Ernie.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a family.
Aretha Franklin,
Okay.
She's dead.
and Mickey Bay, some IBF lightweight boxing champion. And then Warren gave it to Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
And Akron Mark Mothersbaugh.
Oh, that's
And-
good.
Yeah, he
LeBron
should have.
doesn't have a key to any city in Ohio.
No,
Not
because
on
he
this
left.
list. Not on this list.
I mean, like, they're going to eventually build a statue to that guy that's bigger than a terminal tower. He's probably going to get a key to the city, too.
John Glenn has one from Nashville.
Why?
I don't know. They doesn't give a reason.
Now I want to get a key to some city if it doesn't have to be where you're from for any
Yeah.
particular reason. Like
No.
if John Glenn should have a key from any city, it should probably be GD Cleveland.
He's not from Cleveland, though.
Isn't he?
I don't think
He's
so.
an Ohio guy.
Yeah.
Or it
So
could be
is Neil
Columbus. it
Neil
could be whatever.
Armstrong is an
I
Ohio
know.
guy.
All the best astronauts come from here.
I bet Neil Armstrong has a key to Wapakoneta, Ohio.
I bet Buzz Aldrin will fucking bust down whatever door he wants to go through, even at 86 years old. I love that cantankerous guy. That's the kind of old man I want to be. And I haven't been in the military or a fighter pilot or space astronaut, so I probably missed
You just
the boat.
want to punch a moon landing denier in the face.
Fuck yes, I do. or I mean, I have a list. They're on there for sure.
Right on.
But I love it because he's still just such a and apparently he's still kind of senile, but he can pull it together to like assault
the
somebody
best-
who deserves it.
One of my favorite, probably my second favorite Buzz Aldrin moment is when he's standing behind Trump and Trump is talking about the Space Force.
Yeah.
And he's like, got this look on his face of sheer panic, like, what the hell is this guy talking about? He's fucking crazy. And he's like it looks like he's looking at someone who's out of the camera, like,
Get me out of here.
fuck is this?
Can I just say I shit my pants and leave? fuck, Trump does that anyway. He just kind of wanders off. So, so Bender just gets pissed that Fry didn't save the robot, which I feel like Bender wouldn't care about that normally. That part seems a little odd.
But Bender has, I feel like, gone off about like robot rights before. I can't think of a specific instance.
Yeah,
but
well,
he-
on Mother's Day, like he was one of the organizers and things.
Yeah, but there's that episode, what the hell, where he like builds a new body for himself out of wood? Wasn't that some
Yeah.
like protest about robot rights or something?
Yeah. Well, no, that was
they all got banished. I
Yeah,
thought.
they were recycling.
for the upgrade.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I feel like Bender a couple of times has had something to say. But there was another great line where Amy says, "Bender, you always say you're going to kill yourself, but you almost never do."
Right, which means that he's
Almost
done
never.
it before. But that he dated a suicide booth named Lynn for 6 months, but she moved to Oregon with her crazy mother. And then walking in, he doesn't recognize her.
Right.
But with, you look great, fat, but
You
great.
would think that when you're inside your ex-girlfriend, you would know it.
No comment. Just, I'll just leave that there, Dan, but well played. But so then, instead of it being a suicide booth, it's a murder booth.
Yeah.
Which I love, because really, if you got a sentient suicide booth, then if it has intent, that's what it is. Could it be prosecuted?
I like how Bender went to go kill himself, but then he got afraid because he was going to get murdered.
Right. Right. I mean, it's all pretty silly anyway.
So if you're gonna accuse the suicide now murder booth of murder,
yeah.
is it murder if the booth is following its programming?
It's a paradox.
So I think about
You and your
this,
damn paradoxes,
I
Tom.
think about stuff like this a lot because I'm continuously watching the Clone Wars cartoon,
Okay.
and it's all like battle droids
Murdering each other.
murdering people, or
Okay.
And so I
Why?
wonder, like, because that's their purpose, is they're like,
They're killbots?
yeah, basically. And so I wonder, would think about it like that's the point of their existence. So
Can you fault
they-
them for doing it?
are they
Who programmed them?
the people who made them?
Well, I mean, they're
the
basically
Geonosians.
tools then,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, they're accessories to murder, if not murderers. like literal accessories.
But are they at all responsible for it?
Do they have free will?
So here's another thing, though. In Star Wars, R2-D2 kind of has a will of its own because he never gets his memory wiped, so it allows him to like build all these neural pathways to kind of.
Is that how they explain that? What about C-3PO?
C-3PO's mind gets wiped at the end of Episode 3.
I stopped halfway through Episode 2.
Yeah, well, they don't. It's off screen,
Okay.
but
They
Bail
mention it. They're
Organa
like,
tells
yeah.
Captain Antilles to wipe C-3PO's memory.
What about Finn?
What about Finn? Oh, because he's conditioned to. That's a good question. Is Finn responsible for anything that he did before he left the First Order?
Yeah. I'm just asking.
This is not.
This is the
This
wrong
is a, no,
show.
like this is a whole other podcast.
Do you want us
Yeah,
to
you
talk
could
about
really get
books,
into
Tom?
Well,
We could
no,
talk about
it's
books.
relevant.
No,
'cause
but
we were
that's-
talking
now I'm
about
thinking about
the
all of
murder,
this
the
and-
murder bots and suicide murder booths.
Do you guys have taken off caps?
No,
I liked that. And that the Fry just didn't get it, like, and got yelled at by the professor because he's a savage.
But he had one.
You didn't know it was for taking
Why
off?
are they all like plaid old man hats though? Like
That's a
none
taken off
of them
hat.
had like regular hats.
What else would they be? I mean,
know.
what would you classify as a regular hat, Michelle?
like a normal
So
like
even-
they're all printed. I mean,
Yeah.
like a solid regular ass hat. Those were all like bright blue plaid golf.
yeah,
What about like a fedora?
What color is it?
because I think Leela was wearing a fedora.
Leela had some big pink like lady going to the Kentucky Derby hat on.
I mean, I don't. Is it?
Maybe that was Amy. I can't remember.
What is it a milliner that makes hats?
It's a haberdasher.
Is that okay? Then what's a milliner?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Can you look that up too, Tom?
Milliner.
A millionaire?
Millin, MILLINR, NER. I thought haberdashery just spoke to just general
No,
gentlemen.
hat making or millinery.
Well, what's the difference between a milliner and a
I wonder
haberdasher?
if a haberdasher is what sells hats.
That could be.
A hat emporium.
Oh, that actually makes sense. I bet that's right.
You need someone to make it, and then you need someone to sell it.
Right. What if you're a milliner
Yeah.
who also sells hats?
Yeah.
Sell the Milliner Direct. Maybe we can get Milliner
They cut out
Direct
the
to sponsor
middleman.
the show.
It's the manufacture and design of hats and headwears, millinery. And haberdashery is a person who sells small articles for sewing.
What?
Really?
Is that like handkerchiefs and stuff?
Such as buttons, ribbons, zippers, men's outer fitter, or men's outfitter.
So maybe that's what sells men's hats.
If it's accessories and small, like I mean,
Yeah.
you put ribbons on hats, you put feathers.
What
in
kind of
hats.
savage puts a
Any-
ribbon on a hat?
Everybody.
I know.
Almost every hat has a
There's
ribbon
a-
around the
I
crown.
specifically
That's where you put your press
remember
credentials.
reading a Batman comic where the Mad
He fought the
Hatter-
milliner.
No, he fought the Mad Hatter, and the Mad Hatter he made all these devices to put in hats so that he could control people's minds. And
Like
he
brain
raided,
slugs?
kind of, and he raided a haberdasher so that he could have hats to put the devices
Somebody
in.
writing Batman cartoons probably should have looked in a fucking dictionary, is what I'm thinking.
Probably.
Was this the animated series?
No, this was in the comics, and it was probably
Yeah.
Denny O'Neil, who was the Batman editor for like 20
Oh,
years.
poor, mean, nasty old Bender. And then there's the big twist. They're all gonna miss him. He's actually dead. They're turning him into like a garbage can, and then the ghost Bender comes out of his body.
You rolled right past something that I thought was hilarious.
What?
Was the horn on the DEDX truck? It played like a funeral dirge, but like in a major key, so it was all like kind of upbeat.
Oh yeah.
So like the
So like dur, 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 dur.
I just totally missed that.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
That was a thing in this episode that made me laugh out loud.
Oh, it's good. He may always be gone, but he'll always be with us as a trash can.
A millinery makes women's hats. a hatter or haberdasher makes men's hats.
Oh, so it's sexist too. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you think there was a thing where like milliners?
Well, haberdasher also sells men's clothing, and a haberdashery is a men's clothing or department store, not specifically hat focused, but a milliner makes women's hats.
Then who makes the
and
man's
children's
hats? It's only for ladies and children.
A hatter.
A hatter at a haberdasher.
Those
This
are the
is
guys.
why we don't wear hats anymore, people. Because we're too confused
You know what,
about where
I thought it was because of Kennedy.
There's. I mean, if he had been, it might have held everything together. If he'd been wearing his bulletproof cap.
No, I didn't mean it like that. He just was like the first person to not wear hats who was famous.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
Ever.
Well, he had that head of hair.
Well, yeah.
Did you say ever or Abba?
Ever.
Abba.
First person to never wear a hat.
Abba.
I said famous person.
Never,
Thank you very
ever.
much.
No,
No,
but
like
famous.
he was he might have been the first president of the United States who didn't wear hats. Like,
But he was
I've
probably
always heard people
he
say
was-
that Kennedy
okay.
killed hats.
Good. He's probably the first president of the United States to do amphetamines too, but we don't hold that against him.
He was not.
He did. They were prescribed, but he did.
I guarantee
Or
he
you
was
think
not the
somebody was?
first.
Okay. not that he didn't. Just that they
Right.
were a part of the job long
Yeah.
before that. Okay, fair enough. They give Fry the first pick of body parts.
Don't pick his nose.
He ends up doing that anyway, but he takes the arm as a back scratcher, which is fantastic. He's
He
just
may
like-
be gone, but he'll always be with us as a trash can.
like if you were gonna, like, all right, I'm getting dark here. This is just a thought experiment. Say you have an animal, the cherished pet dies, maybe in a horrible wreck of some kind. Maybe say you have.
Doesn't matter how.
Well, it does. It does. Because if the whole body isn't salvageable, I'm not talking about getting it taxidermied to be like stuff to have around. I'm saying your dog. I won't even say cat getting run over by a car, but your dog gets run over by a car.
I care way more about my cat than my dog.
But there's there's a good leg left. Would you get that taxidermied to use as a back scratcher?
no.
No.
Wouldn't even consider it.
No.
I don't need a back scratcher.
Would you, if there were two legs left, would you get them like those deer hat and coat racks where they mount the hoofs like this and you can hang stuff on them?
Probably not.
Probably no.
So what's the difference between the pet being taxidermied in full or in part and
Like a deer?
yeah?
The love and
Yeah.
compassion that you
Tat-
have for that
getting a
animal
pet.
and the relationship you built with that over the years.
Yeah, having a pet taxidermied is like preserving the presence of your pet in full for you to look at and kind of remember, like, oh, this is what it was like when they were here. That's one thing, but having bits and pieces of your pet repurposed for utility
To be
is
practical
not
and servile to you,
respectful.
and they're helping. They're literally giving you a helping hand for eternity.
But Pete's not dead inside.
I'm not 100%. High 90s, but I don't know. I like my feelings on the ones that live here right now. Very clear. I just as soon incinerate them. But I haven't had it.
Would you keep their ashes?
I don't know. I couldn't keep the ashes from the dogs I had that I loved because my first ex-wife took them. So I think she kept them. I might put them in an urn. I don't know. I feel like that would be something that might, like, after 2 or 3 moves, you'd be like, we're gonna take you to your favorite park. Turbo.
No, people don't do that. They keep their pets' ashes forever.
Yeah.
No one.
I have an ex-girlfriend who kept.
We have
Yeah,
I'm sure Tom's house is 60%.
my
have
mom
one
still has
animal's
both of
ashes.
her old dog's ashes.
Their
from
couch is actually a pet mausoleum.
years ago, 10 years ago.
yeah. It's real soft though.
See, if you taxidermied everybody, eventually you'd have like a museum you could charge admission to. These are all the best pets. I'm just putting it out there. We were on fire with $1 million ideas the other night when we recorded with Tim Cornette. Like, it was just nonstop. That guy, someone needs to give him a job in like advertising or like Amazon or Google just needs to give him a lab and set him loose because they'll make a gajillion dollars. But I guess the whole thing is Bender doesn't know that he's dead.
Right.
Which that's such a weird conceit. But it happens in other things.
He thought he just had laryngitis and anti-gravity.
Right. Like both seem perfectly reasonable, right? But that's the point where everybody's favorite, the Robot Devil, shows up.
Fucking Robot Devil.
And you know what I realized is your weird upside downy head profile picture looks like the Robot Devil.
Does it?
Kind of. It's just a big upside down triangle head.
No.
No?
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I don't know. I'll carry on.
So I really appreciated that Bender said, I'll take... Oh, well, we're not there yet, but can we go to when they go to hell?
Yeah, go to it.
Okay, so they go to hell and the Robot Devil makes a pact with Bender.
It's a bat, but still.
No.
It's Robot
Not-
Devil
not
shaped.
at all.
It's not.
I mean, the bat head lady definitely has
Have
a
you
better
seen the
build.
Robot Devil? Did you watch this episode?
Yeah. I took notes.
Vaguely similar shape and no.
You don't
Resemblance.
see things as weird blobs of shape and color. That's it. Yes, the resistance to having him sing was just like
God. And then he starts to sing, and I was like, motherfucking Robot Devil. And then Bender shuts it down. I was so proud of him. Oh my God. I literally I did a little cheer. I was like, thank you. Because that is like, I hate the Robot Devil
followed
so
up
much.
with my favorite line from this episode, possibly this
That's
season.
my favorite. One of my favorite Futurama moments is
You're a ghost? A ghost? No, just a regular one. Which that opens up the door to like, what are the differences between a ghost, a ghost, a ghost, a ghost? It goes on and on. I like this idea that there are like degrees of ghostliness, and what is a ghost? Really, like how does that compare to a regular ghost? Oh, it's the ghosts don't exist, but robot ghosts do. Maybe that's it.
maybe.
Yeah, so since Bender killed himself, he's in limbo and his software was exported to the computational cloud.
Oh, God damn it. I didn't even realize that. Like, we were just talking about Alexa and shit to talk about it.
Oh,
It's-
I thought that's why
Yeah,
we
I
were
thought
talking about it.
you put two and two together.
Come on, did you guys watch the episode or not?
I watched it like 24 hours ago. I can't be held responsible for knowing it without this thing of notes in front of me. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that either, and I watched this episode twice.
So, that's what we're getting to. That's what the singularity will be, is this computational cloud Skynet deal. But Bender's in it. And I like the fact that he can still retain his individualized consciousness out of it. But it's almost the same as the last episode where he maintained a connection to all of the microscopic benders, like every bender in between. Like it was all part of this whole...
The wireless network between all machines.
Oh, that's crazy. If your toaster, well, that's what happens.
I think we talked plenty about the singularity last time.
Yeah, but in this one, shit like Fry's hairdryer and toaster attacking him starts happening because Bender's possessing it.
You skipped over one thing that I also appreciated was when they're talking about Fry, the Robot Devil says, I hate that guy. We swashed hands once and mine still smell like candy corn.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Which, I guess...
Sorry, stink of candy corn.
Of all the things that Fry's hands could smell like, candy corn is probably the most pleasant.
Yeah.
I agree.
Candy corn smells good. It's just like vanilla and sugar
And corn syrup.
Corn syrup. It's
good for you. It's, if you stack it all up in a tube, it looks like corn. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. That's really...
When I realized that, it was like a giant piece of a puzzle that was missing that I didn't know was missing. Like, all of a sudden was where it needed to be.
Is there some kind of Martha Stewart-ass project where you get like a Tootsie Roll or something and heat it up so it's sticky and goopy, and then you stick your corn into it and make like a corn?
That sounds like
gross.
a Pinterest project.
It sounds disgusting. Yeah.
I don't know if a Tootsie Roll would
It's
be
like
the right vehicle for that.
Two
project,
shitty
but
tastes that taste even
What about
worse
just
together.
marshmallows?
I love candy corn.
Oh, it's.
I bet you wouldn't even have to melt the marshmallows. You could just like
Yeah,
I don't think they'd be
jam 'em in
stable
there.
enough.
the big fat ones.
Yeah.
Those extra,
They're
those extra
very
big, extra fat ones.
They're very squishy.
Maybe.
And then you have to think about the circumference of your core. You got to add. I mean, corn isn't that big, but like if you got a long Tootsie Roll, that's going to come out like a regular size ear of corn,
So it's just gonna end up looking like a turd with corn in it.
which is what corn looks like anyway. That's why they used to use corn cobs as toilet paper, like we're all going to when civilization collapses. So Bender makes a deal with the devil because he's not dumb, which he did. I mean, wouldn't you at least give it the lip service to read a contract with the devil?
How often do you click "I agree" on your user agreements with Apple?
I trust Tim Cook way more than I trust the robot devil. Or are you insinuating they're basically the same thing?
I mean, I have an iPhone too, so I do the same thing. I just
Yeah.
have no illusions about trust for Apple.
Well, exactly. So
Especially because Apple is shutting down all the porn on Tumblr, and now I don't know what I'm going to do.
I can give you a couple URLs.
I
Dan.
mean, but Tumblr's convenient because it has an app. Like,
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't. Your Safari's got private mode. Not only that, I had somewhere to go with this, and I don't think I want to go there. Never mind. We can talk off mic. But the whole point of it is Fry must die, which rhymes.
Fry must die
But
for making the
so
robot devil.
Bender
stand
gets
smell
his
like
body.
candy
Like what was if Bender had actually killed him? What would the twist have been on getting the body back? Like, would he just be like, "Here's your body, but you can't get into like you have physical possession of your body, but you can't operate it"?
I think he just wants him dead.
The robot devil? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what do you think the devil's twist would be with it? That Bender is supposed to get his body back if he kills Fry. But what would the devil? It's a scary door thing. It's like there's going to be a twist.
Because Bender has to kill his best friend.
Yeah, but Bender doesn't care about that at this point.
The catch is if he fails, he has to spend eternity in robot hell, which is where Robot Devil practices with his band.
Yeah.
That's the catch. That's it.
So assuming he's doing it with the assumption that he's gonna fail, or he wins either way. He gets to torture Bender with his music, or he gets Fry dead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for breaking that down for me. You should go into law. But the sleep position that Fry is in, sprawled out with the tighty whities.
That's how my 3-year-old sleeps.
That's how I sleep.
This raised a couple questions for me. Would Fry have to leave Robot Arms apartments because he no longer has a robot roommate? Is that just the name of the place, or I thought it was like an apartment building specifically for robots, and he was just kind of like subletting from Bender?
No, they were roommates,
Yeah,
and Fry is living in the closet.
yeah. So
But,
Bender's dead.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure as long as he can cover the rent, who cares?
Yeah, no one's going to question it.
Is that like
probably.
on Friends where they just had the apartment on rent control or some shit? I don't know.
They explained it in an episode. It was like Monica's great aunt's apartment or whatever, and no one knows that she died.
Yeah. Okay. That's all the answer I need. He also, in his little wall basketball hoop, had a dirty sock and some kind of indescribable sludge. It was like kind of stuck to the wall, and I think like stretched through the net too. And I was trying to figure out if it was like leaves of lettuce or it was just like goop kind of hanging in the net.
I just thought it was
Just ick.
Fry goop, like just like some of the general filth that follows Fry around.
Well, that's fair, I guess. He is afraid of soap, apparently.
Yeah. And Bender's like kind of like, I realized this, that Bender's like kind of a poltergeist because he's not just like apparating or like making noises. He basically inhabits electronic devices and like flings them at Fry. So he's kind of like a poltergeist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's malevolent, which is
but in a very like crafty and goofy way. I mean, I guess this is a funny cartoon. The toast where it's spelled "boo" with the exclamation point. That was good. And then actually, with it, not the armpits. Winter's coming when he gets the shaver. But then this just jumped around into a bunch of stuff. Requests to bite my shiny metal ass are down 98%, but then Scruffy's like the other 2%, which I loved.
And he's using Bender's body as a vacuum.
Yeah. So, hold on to your dookie. It's about to get spooky. I wish there was a pineapple vending machine that I could purchase pineapples from.
Wouldn't you want them to be cored already, though?
Fuck, I don't care. Just as long as it's an edible pineapple.
It's such a pain in the ass to core a pineapple.
Yeah,
But
it is.
look.
And peel them. Do anything.
Dude, I worked in produce for 70 million years.
I
know how
understand.
hard it is to core a goddamn pineapple.
But what happens when I'm coring a pineapple at home is I can eat the core and I can suck all this succulent juice. It's
Eat the
edible.
core?
It's edible. It's just harder flesh. It's still pineapple. Do you think Dole's not serving you fucking pineapple cores? They're serving you pineapple cores.
I don't buy canned pineapples, so I don't know.
Oh, so you just buy fresh pineapple that you have to core?
No, because you can go to the goddamn grocery store and buy a pineapple that's already cored, and I know that because I used to do it.
I've got one of those gadgets with like a handle on the top. You chop the spiky part of the pineapple off, and then you stick it, and then you twist it, and it cuts it into like a nice spiral.
Oh, nice.
When I worked in produce, we had like this big machine
Yeah,
that
it
you
was
put
like
it on.
Yeah, it was probably like 3 or 4 feet high, and it had literally almost was like a press. Like you would set the pineapple on the thing, you would cut the stem off the top, set it on this thing, pull this handle, and this whole contraption would come
like one of those
down,
can crusher things that you just
kinda, and it would like pull the core out and also like slice the pineapple.
See, I'd love to have one of those things too, just like I'd like to have a vertical spit rotisserie like you get at a Euro shop. I just don't have room in my kitchen for any of that. I might soon, because basically everything else in here is going to leave except this table. I could probably set up like a deli counter.
Why would you want your own deli counter?
Why wouldn't you want your own deli counter?
Because
then you could be on that list that Cleveland.com puts out of the top however many places with the most food health.
I'd be eating. It's not like I'd be serving euros to other people.
Then what's the point of a counter?
Because I could. I just meant like a counter to make sandwiches on. I don't mean a counter to sell things
You
across.
said a deli counter.
yeah,
Yes.
like I'm thinking like that,
Right.
Like a meat case with
yeah,
all your
like
Yeah, but okay,
Bolognas and-
I'd back it up so that the glass side that people would stand on the other side of would just be against the wall. And then I'd have I could open the inside up and have a cutting board and have a rotisserie grill and a pineapple slicer. Oh shit, you could put like a ham on the rotisserie grill.
I think you're going to need a bigger house.
No, that bookshelf is going. That vintage sewing machine with the plant on it is going. These 2 tables are going. That bag of dry cleaning that has been sitting. This is not an exaggeration. The clothes in that bag have been in that bag for over 10 years. Just saying. She'll be happy I outed that to the world. So there's going to be room in here. And I think those would be like good. What else am I going to do? Just stick amps and guitars in every room? Because that's the best option I got right now.
Do you need a place to put amps and guitars?
No. But I'm going to need to fill this space up with something so it's not empty.
Why?
Because it's just like, look, all the pictures are already down. It's Casa Nova bachelor apartments already. Can I borrow a feeling, Dan? So basically, nobody believes that Fry's getting haunted, but it's like the weirdest episode or like version of the Ghost movie. I'm surprised they didn't do like an Unchained Melody scene in this.
There's no such thing as whatever you're saying.
And then like the way that they cut off there's a ghost that needs beep or whatever when the dial tone clicked up, but the number you have dialed has been lame since 1989. Which is that when Ghostbusters 2 came out?
I think so.
It was that there was a 5-year gap?
I don't know.
no, Ghostbusters 2
Ghostbusters
came
was
out.
like 84. Was it like
Ghostbusters 2
86?
came out later.
Later?
I think it was still
89?
in the 80s.
Huh.
To the IMDb.
But
80.
I mean,
Okay,
is
it
that-
was 89.
Is that fair? Because I thought, I mean, Ghostbusters 2 is not as good as Ghostbusters 1, but it's not bad.
Right, it's not bad.
You get Vigo the Carpathian
Yes.
and all of that stuff.
And little baby Oscar.
Yeah. So that just seems like a sort of a mean dig. The river of slime and whatnot. But then just the whole misdirect thing where the professor's like, "You sure everything can be explained by science?" And they have a seance instead with the robot gypsy.
She says, "Let the seance begin." And Farnsworth goes, "I said science."
Zoidberg's got the theremin.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Have you guys ever seen the movie Theremin?
No.
Okay, so it's 20-some years old at this point, but it's a documentary about the inventor who created the instrument. He was this Russian scientist or, electronics engineer, created the instrument, and just kind of goes through a history of the instrument and him, and then this woman who was like the world's most virtuosic theremin player. Like, she's like this 90-year-old lady, and just crazy. It's actually very good. It's maybe like... it winds up with him like living basically poor in New York City, like Tesla, like feeding pigeons. But it's a fun story. There's an interview with Brian Wilson. They do these clips in the middle, and it's just such a perfect like encapsulation of his stream of consciousness craziness. That it's worth it just for that to see. It's a good film anyway, but it's probably out there. It's probably on YouTube for free or something, but something to check out. You don't see them very often now. I think you might see them more often now than you used to because it's got a little hipster cachet. But I've always wanted to just build one and then
Yeah,
learn
theremin would be cool.
how to contraptualize
I
it.
hear they're very difficult to learn.
Yeah, because you've got to master like 3D space.
Yeah.
And there's some it was probably the Nutty Professor or something. I mean, there's some Jerry Lewis movie where he's like, "What?" Yeah, I think that clip is in the Theremin movie. But like, it's basically you can control the pitch and the volume so minutely that you just make these little things. It just makes these weird changes. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm gonna have a lot of spare time to build things, and maybe I'll make one.
I'm very excited.
Oh, don't be. There's no such thing as ghost, you donkey monkey. Which I feel like that needs to come into the vernacular.
I think I'm going to steal Donkey Monkey.
It's something to call your
Donkey monkey?
kids.
It's something to call the kids that
It's a
come into
robot
my
ghost.
work and harass me.
You might be careful about that.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to call them names, but whatever.
But your own, you can call your own kids whatever you want.
Yeah.
You got sweet kids, but I can see them being a little obstinate and being like, "Come
yeah.
on, you donkey monkey."
My 3-year-old can be very obstinate.
Yeah, he's a little fire plug too.
Yeah.
So start calling him a donkey monkey. At this point, there's this running buffet. I lost it. The running gag about the buffet.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. Like, it's just, it's a thing all of a sudden, and everybody knows about it and is
Right.
referencing it without it having ever been mentioned for 100 episodes previously or anything. It's beautiful. Like the preacher bot showing up for the exorcism and like, "Where's the buffet?"
I got the
Too much macaroni sweats.
I've had that.
I have too.
if all goes well, I'll have them this weekend. And
That made me very happy.
and he's got the biscuits. I want
Scruffy's famous corn biscuits.
I want to eat at Scruffy's buffet.
Oh, for sure.
My deli counter could
You
be
can call it
Scruffy's buffet.
Scruffy's Buffet.
Shit, this is fantastic. That's how we'll transition into the food podcast. We'll just start serving guests. Oh God, we can tie it in with Tim's idea from the last episode. Oh my God, I feel manic.
And
This
call
is
your
good.
food podcast Scruffy's Buffet. And you'll never have to explain it. Just call it that. And then
people-
someone's going to be like, "Why do you call it Scruffy's Buffet?"
People will know.
And
They'll know.
some people will know.
In addition to macaroni sweats, I've also had meat sweats.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's followed up too. So when they finally believe Fry, he says, "I can't sleep, I can't think, I can't even think." He's just like, he's just sitting in the center of that whirlwind of Bender like possessing
Yeah.
shit, and they're just like, "Oh, now you get it." Is that a reference to some other ghost movie?
I thought it made me think of Poltergeist.
Really, I don't. If I've seen it, I don't remember.
You should see it. It's really fucking good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
scary.
It's very. I think
great.
it gets people overlook it. I think probably because of The Exorcist. It's really fucking good.
Poltergeist is better than The Exorcist.
The
in my
Exorcist isn't
opinion.
really
I like
scary
The
at all.
Exorcist a lot.
I
but
agree
it's-
with you. They're both great movies, but I think they're so different. They're almost not comparable.
It's got Craig T. Nelson in it.
Yeah.
Coach.
But Poltergeist, like I hadn't seen it in a really long time. The first time I saw it again, and it shocked me at how good it was.
Really?
Yeah,
And he's like the only person alive still from the movie.
that is not true.
Really?
I know it's not true.
I thought that was that Phantasm or what's the
No, it was Poltergeist. There's a rumor of like a Poltergeist curse.
They used real human bones and skulls in it because it was cheaper than fake ones.
Well, like, yeah, obviously, you buy them from China. Mm-hmm. Plastic costs money. But so who? It's the preacher bot gives him the firewall, and this is why I need to get one. Because it keeps your electronics away from possessions, and it keeps cats off your couch by killing them. Which is just a nice aside. Like, look, if you saw the back of these, you'd understand.
Oh, I've got cats.
Yeah, I have 2 cats.
I know,
They
but
like to rip things with their little knifey hands.
awful. But then Bender just shoves himself into the firewall. That's the part that seems more preposterous than anything. He just like forces his way in.
Yeah, it was like, what the hell is the point of this thing if he can still?
Yeah.
So it something that I didn't write in my notes, but I thought of it the first time I watched this episode is it's kind of like a in D&D there's a thing called if you're a cleric you can cast a spell that's called Turn Undead.
Okay.
And so if you cast the spell, any undead within a certain radius, they have to make what's called a save. And so you have to roll your d20 and you have to roll a number that's higher than a certain number. And then if you make the save, you're not turned. But if you don't make the save, you have to flee from the person who cast the spell for like however long it says.
It just turns them around the other way.
Yeah, and they can't attack you. They can't come towards you. They have to stay out of
repels
this.
them.
Yeah, or
Okay.
turns them. And
Well, see, that's ambiguous language because turn undead could mean you're taking somebody
you're literally
who's dead and you're turning them undead.
No, you're physically turning the undead thing away from you.
It could be somebody who's alive and you turn them undead.
No, I mean it could be, but that's not what it does.
Okay.
I'm telling you
not,
what it
look,
does.
I'm not Gary Gygax. I'm just saying. He used ambiguous language on that
Sure.
spell.
But anyway, so that little device, it's like a weird, almost talisman that you would have in D&D that would turn undead, and it made me think of that. That's all.
I mean, it's a talisman is a good word for what the
What,
thing
the
is.
thing that
the
Fry had?
firewall. But either way, Bender thinks he scares him to death by projecting his own face and melting it.
Time to let my guard down, even for a minute.
Also, that projection, if you like woke up and saw that is terrifying.
Yeah, no, I don't want to look. I don't want to look at myself ever.
Projection, it made me think of when in Raiders of the Lost Ark, when all the Nazis look inside the Ark.
And they melt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Face melting is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's doesn't they sell a candle of the Nazi's face from Raiders of the Lost Ark? Or maybe it's just a skull or something, but it's like you melt it and like the insides, it's like it melts pink.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I would buy the shit out of it.
Probably at Spirit Halloween. You missed your chance until next year. But Fry's Wikipedia page says he survived. Damn you, Obamacare, which is still in place. But this is the point where it has the line from your intro, Michelle.
Yes.
Like, was it his heart?
Dr. Cahill.
Yeah. It's his heart. His heart is badly damaged, and my cleavage isn't helping him at all. She's just popped up randomly several times now through the series. Like, she is a competent doctor. She's just a sexy competent doctor, right?
Yep.
She's not like Zoidberg, who's just sexy.
It was very sad that he was not really in this episode at all.
He played the theremin. Isn't that enough?
But I want him to talk.
It's weird to see a lecherous professor, though, because he was helping you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unusual for him to even show that kind of animus. But once he pulls through to get away from the machines, they'd send him to the Amish homeworld, which...
So I have a question about the ship that takes you to the Amish homeworld.
Powered by oxen?
Is that what So I guess I missed that. But, like, that's what I was trying to figure out, like, if the Amish could own an interstellar ship.
It's made out of wood.
Right. But it's not anything to do with what it's made of. I thought they can't own anything that uses electricity.
What's funny is...
Maybe it didn't use electricity.
No, it's oxen powered.
Well,
so
yeah.
It can't be in their homes. It's something to do with the lines or something. I don't know. But I know they do use, at least Mennonites have cars. They use cars, some of them, and telephones.
The Mennonites are like the reformed ones that are like kind of half crazy instead of totally. It's like I say that, and like when everything collapses, they'll be the ones that are still having room springers. This is just as an aside, I feel like we recorded 2 episodes this week that'll be spaced out for a while, but there's all these references between the two that have come up where there's just this convergence between them, because we talked about the Amish people a couple days ago. We're talking about like Obamacare or something, and it's just the singularity. All of these pieces, it's just weird. Like this is now like the 6th reference that unintentionally has happened from the show we did 2 days ago, and it's starting to get to me. I think we might be one of those computer glitch things that everybody thinks that we're in. Is it Elon Musk thinks we're in a simulation? The Amish homeworld, you could on that oxen powered spaceship, you can take 2 carry-on butter churns.
It's the limit, though.
Yeah. What do you think it smells like in there between the people and the butter churns? In that non-air conditioned and the oxen? Yeah.
Probably oxen poop, because that probably overpowers everything.
You think?
I don't know.
you're probably right, Tom.
I mean, but Bender's the only machine Fry's going to miss when he goes, like, which is interesting because he's living without TV and all kinds of things. But he apparently takes right to being Amish. He picks up his beard and
I like that they gave him the wrong color beard first.
Well, I think they gave him a choice. They just like, here's one. They're like, oh, and then they give him the ginger one, and then off he goes. But he's working. It's like probably the hardest he's ever worked. He's just fully ingrained into Amish society almost immediately. But like they show the part where he's sleeping at night and he takes the beard off and hangs it on the bed frame. But with the one line that came up in there is when Fry says that Bender's the only machine he'll miss. Bender's like, that's the closest thing to Bender is great that anyone but me has ever said. It was beautiful. But then he's building like Buckminster Fuller Amish houses and everything's great. I mean, are the Amish allowed to use? I guess they're allowed to use geometry, right?
Yeah.
It's not the devil's math.
You have to use geometry to build a fucking barn.
Do you?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
It's math. It's not electricity.
It's made out of shapes. I get that, but like, I mean.
No, they just put up 4 walls and hope it makes the size that they need it to be.
Yeah. Okay, fine. It's a dumb question. I don't know shit about. Actually, I know someone who's married to a former Amish guy. We could probably get him on as a guest.
Yeah.
If he's not afraid of the microphone and just ask him Amish questions. Be like, how do you feel about cartoons?
What if we have Amish listeners?
Like they're on a construction site or something, building fireplaces and
Raising barns.
yeah, and somebody's got. I mean, well, the Amish are like the original undocumented laborers. Like they go pick up a bunch of people down in Amish country and like bring them out to construction sites. They're totally that's a thing.
Oh, huh?
And pile them all in a van. They get out. They work. Take them back.
They get paid.
I know
Yeah.
they get paid. I'm just like, how do you know that they
You
don't
can't
work?
just live on cheese and.
I know that. I'm saying, how do you know that they're undocumented? How do you know that they're not?
I mean, I
paying
just,
taxes and-
well, There's
Paying
probably
into Social
a
Security.
lot of it under the table because some of those taxes are going to electricity. Somewhere along the line, it's paying for a thing with a dualistic nature of wave and particle action. So anyway, when everybody comes to visit, finally, the robot devil tags along in disguise, dressed as Granny Hester. Yeah. Which
Who is left naked but okay.
yeah, naked but unharmed. Yeah. But then it's just like Fry's like, oh wait, this is like he knows Granny Hester, like he's just totally ingrained in it, and that's the thing that seems so. Like, he renounced his entire life, became fully Amish, like seemingly like that. They don't really give you a time frame, but it's a cartoon, so we can assume it's maybe like 3 days that he's there before everybody comes to visit. I don't know. Anyway, is it the devil, the robot devil that says you're using my own words against me?
No, it's Bender. who
Was
said
it?
that.
Okay, because he's trying to say that human life.
Yeah, he doesn't want to kill Fry anymore.
I want to yell, move your ham flaps at someone.
Oh God, that's such a great line.
Could you do that at work to some of these kids? Like if there's a kid that's like,
No, because I always tell him not to run.
well, so maybe there's like a
Although I will, so every once in a while we have to bounce a kid out of the library for being disrespectful or swearing or whatever.
or say there's like all of a sudden there's a library masturbator at one of the computers and like, kids, get away from him, move your hand flaps.
Well, I would tell him that he needs to leave.
Yeah, but you don't. I mean, you want to get them.
He's already
square.
moving his hand flaps. Yeah, just like that.
Okay, gotcha. But then, anyway, Fry asking about how Scruffy's buffet is doing was just like the beautiful cap on all of that.
Yeah.
What other dishes do you think Scruffy cooks besides his famous corn biscuits and macaroni?
I assume there's some kind of sausage gravy.
And probably sausage. I mean, it's probably just like a good barbecue buffet.
Yeah.
Damn, I bet he turned Bender's carcass into a vacuum and then a smoker.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Because imagine how much meat and smoke you could
In
fit
that
in that
magical
magical
chest
chest cavity.
cavity?
Yes, you just keep piling it in. You could put brisket after brisket after brisket in there. Oh my God, I want some brisket now. So anyway, Bender finds the loophole by possessing the robot devil's body because he's the only machine there.
So that made me think of something.
Yeah,
Could Bender just possess his own body?
probably, but they had disassembled it, right?
But like Scruffy's using it as a
No,
vacuum.
because it's not. Well, I mean, maybe he could have, but it would have to have some power to begin with. I think that's
okay.
the only way he was able to possess
Wait,
any of
does-
the stuff he had.
Does this episode completely negate the episode from a few seasons ago where they say that Bender's not in the cloud, he has no backup, he can't be re-downloaded into a different body?
Well, he's technically dead,
Yeah, but
so he's a
in
robot
limbo.
ghost. So he's not.
But they said that
But the reason
he
his
wasn't
ghosts
in the
exist.
Yeah.
he didn't have a backup. He couldn't
But-
be re-downloaded into.
But that was because he committed suicide. That's why he was a backup. So like if he died normally, maybe he wouldn't have been able to.
maybe.
Or they could just be retconning, which is
Yeah, I think the logic is off a little bit.
on this show. What? Never.
This is the first that Pete's ever heard of the logic not being right
I mean,
on this show.
it's been so long since I could get into a thing like that. It's good. Thanks for bringing it up, Michelle. It wasn't me.
It wasn't Pete this time.
Yay!
I didn't even make a list of things in this episode that I thought you would hate because there weren't any.
I mean, even having the robot devil, I was okay with it. But like, what just happened? I think the robot devil said he loved me in Bender's voice wearing Granny Hester's clothes. Again, just the matter of fact way he says it is so beautiful. And then Bender loses anyway, and the robot devil starts singing at him, and he escapes. So I guess I just started listening to. Oh shit! What was it? Something.
What?
I think it was a podcast about The Good Place, or someone was talking about The Good Place, and they were saying like, no, I'm sorry, I'm conflating all these things. But there was something I was listening to where they were talking about like anytime you put the existence of hell and the devil in something that like it by definition means you have to have a heaven and a god. Like it creates the duality by creating the one. So it's just never been addressed before. How come he looked like the Wall-E? What's the one from
Eva?
Wall-E? Yeah. Because that's what Robot God looked like. Was this before Wall-E or after?
He might have been right around the same time.
Because
This is the first season after the hiatus, right?
It was really the second.
No, this is technically
Third.
season 8, but it's season 6. It depends how you go. Like it's production season 6,
So yeah,
broadcast season 8.
but like it's after all the movies.
Yeah.
Yes,
And then
And
another
this is the
season.
first time that it came back as a show after the movies.
well,
Because
Uh,
the
there's
movies.
been a whole season before this.
Okay.
yes, 2 seasons.
Two
technically.
whole broadcast seasons.
What
This is
year
the
was
third.
this one out?
This came out in 2011.
I think it's supposed to look like the 1X, the robot.
That's what
1X.
it.
Oh,
It's not
Oh,
Wally.
yeah. I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't even
Okay.
think of Wally, but
But doesn't 1X have arms too?
it does. I just thought of
Yeah.
it as like a very sleek, futuristic, well technologically advanced compared to like Bender, like robot. So they would be like a god robot.
Okay.
When I first was watching this, I thought it was going to be those blinking lights like he saw in
Oh, right,
Godfellas, but
Nope.
then I remembered it was a different. It was
Because that was
robot.
God, not Robot God.
Wally was in 2008.
Oh, well, so whatever.
I
Robot-
thought it was going to be the Simpsons God.
But Bender then it's like, I wants to go back, so he possesses Robot God too, and shows up just in time to see Fry picking his nose with Bender's arm, which is again disgusting and beautiful at the same time. But the way that everything just kind of sucked itself back together,
Like at the end of the Iron Giant.
yeah, or the last week's episode when all of the micro benders turned into a giant Voltron bender.
I thought of the Iron Giant. By the way, this ended immediately.
You know, you're back from the dead.
I'm back from lots of stuff.
I like that too. That was beautiful. And that was, I mean, that's this for being sort of a one-off, not what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like
Non-canonical.
For being an episode
Yeah, it's-
that has the robot devil and is really Bender heavy, it was good.
yeah, that's a good way to put it, Dan. Any final thoughts to conclude?
Nah.
Nothing? You guys?
It was fine.
Good? Yeah, I enjoyed it.
There's some decent lines in it.
Yeah.
We skipped the other part. I like, but when after Bender dies, that "Kiss My Shiny Metal Ass" is down 98%.
No, I said that.
Oh, did
talks
you?
about
I
it,
missed
yeah.
that.
Sure.
Oh, well, then
it was-
never mind.
Because it was Scruffy that was the one that was still saying
Yes.
it. Which is
Okay.
great. And I like
I must have zoned out during that.
You thought we were talking about books or
I
something?
must have been looking something up.
Overall, pretty good. If the remaining episodes have this much good joking in them, I'll be okay with it. But I suppose there's a tumble that we're setting ourselves up
This
for.
is after I quit watching the show.
Really?
Yeah, I quit after the first season when they came back
Gotcha.
because I was not happy.
Too dirty for you?
No, it just didn't do anything for me.
I see. That's how I felt for the last 99 fucking episodes.
They definitely have a different feel than the ones beforehand.
yeah.
for sure.
It's at times raunchier, but I don't know. Like this one, I feel like the last few episodes, the writing has been a little more consistently funny.
There are a lot of good lines in a lot of these episodes, like funny lines.
So I've just listened to the episode the one I was supposed to be on a few weeks ago, which was the holiday special episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I hate that
Oh,
episode.
no,
so
we-
shout out to George for taking that one over.
Taking the bullet.
Yeah, it was not really a.
Yeah,
super
it's not a
great
good one.
That one
Although,
sucks, but there are some great lines in it.
yeah, the part with the Conrad family really had some great stuff
Yeah.
going on. But other than that, it was pretty weak. I mean, I would venture to say that the presence of Santa Claus is a bigger predictor of a shitty episode than the Robot Devil is.
I agree.
Especially
Because
post John Goodman Santa Claus.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I think I hate Santa Claus the robot more than I hate the robot devil.
Yeah, because the robot devil gets his comeuppance here and there. Santa just comes and goes, and he's shitty. And when he's John Goodman, you can at least like enjoy it.
Yeah.
And not that there's anything wrong with John DiMaggio, but it's not.
He's
the
not
same.
John Goodman.
Yeah, no one is.
Except John Goodman.
For who knows how long. Let's cross our fingers. Cohen's got more movies to make.
Speaking of John Goodman, Katie Seagal is going to be on The Connors as his like first love.
She was.
Oh, was she?
Yeah,
I
it
haven't been
was-
watching it, but I just
that
saw
was
an
this
article
week.
about it.
Yeah.
Is she
was
on
all
as
right. She
Peggy
was-
Bundy?
No,
I wish.
No. She was,
That would get me to watch that show.
Like their friend from high school who left after graduation to go play in her band in Chicago, and then she like came back after.
Please tell me she didn't sing.
For like 2 seconds, she did. And it was literally like the first 2 seconds that she's in the show.
So she was on. She was
It's in her
Sons,
contract.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
And did you watch that show?
Up until they killed Opie.
Yeah. But like, so especially towards the end of that show's run, I feel like she was doing a cover of some famous song. Like it feels like every
we've talked
other
about that
episode.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Katie Seagal. I hate it when she fucking sings.
She's fine.
And I feel like
she's fine.
I mean, I feel that way, like the way that Bender feels about the robot devil singing, or you feel about the robot devil singing. I feel
I've heard you.
yeah,
complain about
you
it.
understand. It's not even a complaint. It's just the way I observe it to be is not for me. But she is talented, and I like her a lot, especially as an actress and a voiceover actress.
And
Wow.
on that note,
Why don't you do all the plugs this week?
okay,
Tom?
find us on Facebook. Find us on Twitter.
Where, Tom? Where
Find
on
us.
Twitter?
I will get to that. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on the web, and you can call us. Slurmcast. Slurmcastpod. Slurmcastpod. Slurmcast.com. And
Don't do a spit take, Pete.
I almost did. Slurmcastpod@gmail.com, 216-438-1077, and rate and review us
just
on
go to
iTunes.
Slurmcast.
I mean, at this
.com.
point, if you don't know how to fucking use Google, how the hell are you listening to a podcast?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You
That's
know
a
how
fair
to
question.
find us.
just go click the stars
just
on
rate and
iTunes.
review us. Yeah.
Make a poop joke or something, and then I don't know. We don't have any carrots to give you, just sticks now. It's basically.
Do you even have sticks to give?
I mean, we could make the episode shittier.
Could you?
We could. We could. Let's just put one out that's all Hypnotoad.
I mean, I'm cool with that. Get me out of recording an episode.
Be our 100th episode.
Just the sound.
Well, now that you gave it away, we can't do it
Yeah.
for our 100th episode.
101st.
Not you did it again.
Oh, I'm terrible with
You can't let
surprises.
them- they can't expect it.
Oh, we're not the Spanish Inquisition, though. People can expect all kinds of shit from us. Yeah, I don't know. Tell your friends. Listen, have a good week.
Yeah.
If this is coming out after the holidays, so we probably hope you have a good one or something.
You got what you wanted.
Yeah. Make a New Year's resolution if you haven't already. Something involving,
Don't
Listening
be
to
a
this
dick. Make that your New
podcast.
Year's resolution. Don't be an asshole.
yeah, be considerate. We're getting real preachy here, aren't we? Sorry. Have
Yeah,
a good week,
bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.